I'm Madhu Sharma and this is Design Mind. Every episode we teach your mind about design by analysing a website. In this episode we will be looking at how Wired streamlines the traditional web browsing experience, how Wired transfers the magazine reading experience to the web. As we saw in the last episode, the tile system perfectly recreates the magazine browsing experience. However, web users traditionally browse categories to find articles, and this is something Wired implements brilliantly. The homepage has this sidebar which lists key categories. The bar changes as the user moves between sections. For example, if I click on this reviews link, this header graphic appears. The navigation also changes to only show links to other reviews. This is a great idea as it streamlines the sidebar. When looking at an article, the sidebar changes into a horizontal mode, which displays key links that relate to that section. This is another great touch, as by removing the sidebar, the user's eyes can focus on the article text. However, they still have quick access to other stories. The sidebar top stories link takes the user to a tile grid. It's much larger than the one we looked at in the last episode, and so allows the images to have more impact. However, given how well the main tile grid works, I don't see the benefit of using larger tiles. It's not a major issue, but it spoils the continuity between the pages. On mobile, the sidebar is transformed into a hamburger menu, which works quite well. Let's conclude our analysis by examining how Wired transfers the magazine reading experience to the web. First, let's start by looking at printed magazines. One key feature of magazines is that they are traditionally read as a form of relaxation. For example, we often read them while lounging around on a sofa or killing time in a waiting room. Because magazines are for relaxation, they tend to be a very visual experience. You would think that this would mean that they would only contain short articles, but the medium is actually ideal for long-form content. Take this dense passage of text. The subject matter might be interesting, but seeing all those words is immediately off-putting. Here we have the same text displayed in the form of a magazine. It's much more appealing. The text is broken up thanks to the use of multiple pages, photos, and pull quotes. The photos also provide a resting space. For example, after reading this paragraph, we might take a break by looking at this photo before going on to the next section. Now let's examine how Wired handles long-form content. The text takes up the center area. The right-hand side houses an image that changes as the user scrolls down the page. This is a great way of maintaining visual interest. It also gives the article a sense of progression, as the changing images visually communicate that we are progressing through the article. On the downside, having an image permanently located in one area is a bit distracting, as it draws attention away from the text. This is quite different from a magazine layout, where the images are more organically interspersed with the text. Let's briefly look at the mobile version of the articles. The mobile version is brilliantly designed. It follows the style of the desktop version, but uses a few techniques to streamline the layout. The text now occupies the full width of the page. On desktop, this would have made the line length uncomfortable, but on mobile it fits perfectly. The right-hand image area has been removed, and these images are placed in line with the article text. The pull quotes are now full width. Making both the pull quotes and the images full width allows them to break up the text into manageable chunks. In conclusion, Wired is a brilliant example of an online magazine. It manages to translate many features of the printed magazine to the web. However, it also respects web conventions, resulting in an experience that is both inviting and fluid. That's it for this episode of Design Mind. A new episode is released every Monday and Thursday. Find us on the web at www.designmind.info. Our YouTube channel is youtube.com/designmindinfo. You can also find us on iTunes. We'd love it if you could leave us a review at any of these places. Until next time, happy designing!